The intensity, the thrill doesn't get better because we move on to match number 8, and it's another huge clash, a blockbuster one. I always say after the El Clasico, this is one of the biggest games of the season. It's Virat versus MSD. None of them are captains anymore. New leaders in the show. I have Neha with me, and welcome to the show, Neha. But it's Chennai and RCB, both the teams coming from a victory. And surprisingly, I'll ask you that once again. I think most of the RCB fans were fearing the opening game of the season just because it's against the Kolkata Knight Riders at the Eden Gardens, where you do not have a good record. When you looked into that game at the halfway stage, what was your reaction? Will you be able to chase it? And when Salt and Kohli went berserk, what was your reaction?
Honestly, Preetham, really happy to be here. And, coming in as an RCB fan is always a pleasure. Just talking about the last match, versus KKR, obviously emotions were high. This was the first match you want to get off on a great note to the campaign. And honestly, we couldn't have asked for a better start, right? With the way Virat and Phil Salt, just kind of finished the game. The batting didn't have to come at all. I think it was quite the commendable effort. Restricting KKR and then, chasing it down was mammoth. So in that sense, yeah, I think it's a great start to the campaign. Just excited to see how RCB, carries on this momentum
True.
for this big blockbuster match versus CSK.
Absolutely, indeed so. But in the first game, we saw a little bit of surprise package where Bhuvi was not picked because of an injury. But Kunal Pandya, what an addition to this team. We were talking in the auction table as well when he was bought, when he was saying that he's not going to be good enough, but his experience in this league is impeccable. And that's the reason why I'm telling you, Kunal Pandya is 4 overs, picking up 3 crucial wickets. What was that in the middle overs?
Absolutely. I think Krunal Pandya was such a value buy in addition to this RCB setup itself. We've seen the kind of magic, he has done for Mumbai Indians later, for Lucknow Super Giants as well. But coming into this RCB setup, we really needed to amp up our spin department. And Krunal Pandya leading from the front, not just containing the runs, but getting you those wickets too, right? Which is so
Exactly.
important. You could see how each of those wickets meant to him. And it was incredible, man. Honestly, just waiting to see how he goes through the rest of the season. And to all the fans, rating him so highly, absolutely deserved.
100% he deserves that. We'll be waiting to see if Bhuvi comes back into the side or not. What about Chennai versus Mumbai? The El Clasico, I think that it was a one-way traffic, to be honest, one-sided encounter. Mumbai desperately missed the likes of Jasprit Bumrah and Hardik Pandey into the side, but there was some unbelievable scouts that were happening in the Mumbai side. The Chinaman, wonderful pick, but MSD, that stumping got us back to over the years, way back into a decade.
Oh yeah, I mean the El Clasico, as much as people had kind of built it to be a top flight encounter, didn't quite live up, in that regard because Chennai seemed to be very much, in the driver's seat. They were getting a lot of their bases right, and although the run chase they did, have a few hiccups here and there.
Yeah.
I think Rajat Patidar, man, the way he played, due credits to him for the way he kind of just did his job, and even the Jadeja run out was hilarious because everyone was more excited about the incoming
And
batters.
that's
So
what I was about to ask you. You said about due credit to Rachin Ravindra. When he finished it off with the six, were you happy or were you sad?
honestly a little sad. Would have loved to see Dhoni finish it off in style. This is coming from an RCB fan, trust me. But the uncapped wicketkeeper Dhoni, did give a lot of us, reasons to start watching this beautiful game and to see him play the 18th edition of the IPL with the kind of jazba he is still. Would have loved to see him finish. But yeah, maybe season back here. Let's see. Hopefully, he doesn't bring all of these fireworks versus us. RCB,
Absolutely.
but yes, lovely to
But
see.
you have a Yash Dayal in your side, so you should be confident enough to get rid of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But that entry, that's all MSD is all about. Once Jadeja got run out, fans, CSK fans, every time, I've seen this since the last couple of years at least, but then since there is a dismissal here and MS Dhoni is about to come out, no matter how good a knock that person has played or whatever, they'll be going insane for the man, for Tala coming out to bat, and that's exactly what happened. What about the head-to-head between CSK and RCB? Let's take a look at that. It has been a little bit of even Stevens if we talk about in the last 5 games. Talk us through the last encounter. Who can forget that? The fans went out in the streets in Bengaluru. The ball went out of Chinnaswamy. New ball came into the picture. Mahendra Singh Dhoni got out. Your thoughts on this game? Overall head-to-head, if you say, CSK are comfortably leading 21-11 against the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. How much do you see this game? Because at Chepauk, RCB do not have a good record in the recent past.
Honestly, Preetham, do not look too deeply into head-to-head because 18th May 2024 is etched in every single RCB fan's memory. RCB knocks out CSK in the most commendable fashion, and it was such a remarkable match. But honestly, just coming to the nitty-gritties of playing at Chepauk itself, RCB will try not to be complacent. I know they're coming off of a great win, and they kind of have the upper hand over Chennai, but this is Chennai in Chepauk, right? That's entirely different sauce. So RCB would definitely want to bring in their best game and do their thing. So I definitely say CSK probably has a little bit of an advantage because it's home conditions and they've done their thing. But again, you writing off RCB just would be extremely stupid. And as fans, we will believe that RCB has it in them, and hopefully they go all the way.
Absolutely. You cannot write off this side because I've said this in the beginning of the season and time again. That this team, for the first time, RCB have a team that is balanced, have all the bases covered. I've not seen a team, because RCB over the years either have been batting heavy, very big bowling lineup, or it's been the vice versa. But this time around, both the bases are covered, and I give credit to the management the way they have done that. What about the pitch report of Chepauk? Let's take a look into the numbers. 86 matches have been played at this iconic venue. 49 times the team batting first have been victorious compared to 37 times. Dew plays a huge part in this contest. While the previous game in the El Clasico, we did not see any Dew, but the team chasing went out to win. What's your thought on this one? Did the toss chase just like Ruturaj Gaikwad did?
Absolutely, Preetham. No doubt about that. If you're winning the toss, you need to, just bowl first, that you are coming into chase later. The Dew kind of, eases the whole run chasing process as well. And RCB has a chase master in their ranks. I mean, Virat Kohli, right? Absolute superstar. And he's found his, faff in Phil Salt as well. So at the top, they form such a formidable duo. And because this is such a high pressure match, you really want to get the win. I feel RCB is better placed to, chase in this case. Talking strictly from an RCB POV, but I think in general, any team winning the toss would definitely, want to chase, because that's how the trend has been, right?
Absolutely, you want to chase, but on the other hand, you definitely would like to keep in mind the 12 overs of the three spinners of Chennai Super Kings, Jadeja, Ashwin, and Noor. They have been sensational in the previous game, and expecting them to do the same throughout the season.
Absolutely, and Afghani bowlers just weaving a web around the Mumbai Indian batters. So really nice to see him, sort of come to the party and just do so well in CSK colours. I think Dhoni also was, just giving him a pat, giving him a lot of encouragement, and just the kind of strategy, right from behind the stumps. So I think, with Jadeja and Ashwin, man, they've been stalwarts for CSK for the longest period of time. So love to see how this trio kind of fares. Yeah.
And Rachin Ravindra, he was unused with the ball, and I'm expecting that to be throughout the season until unless it's a rank turn on any of the surface, either Chennai or Ikana Stadium or anybody else. But your thoughts on the surface, when the toss is chased, what are your thoughts? But with the new rule coming into the ball changing thing, which has not been implied so far in the tournament, what's your thought on that? Would you keep that in mind if you're chasing a side that there might be that coming into place? And similarly, Phil Salt, how much do you want to thank KKR for not retaining him?
Yeah, I mean, the IPL's new rule of the ball changing in because of the whole Dew factor and all that. So far, we haven't seen it come into play. Hopefully, it doesn't come into play in the RCB versus the CSK match as well, because that entirely makes it a very different equation, right? For the team chasing, you're used to the old ball, like the ball getting old gradually in those 11 overs, and then suddenly boom, it's again the new ball. So for the middle order batters who are coming in later, say wickets have fallen, it suddenly becomes a massive challenge. So interested to see how it plays in. So far, we don't have a sample size, so can't really comment on that, but it will be a challenge, I think, for the chasing teams as well. And as for Phil Salt coming to RCB, no complaints, Preetham. I mean, KKR really let go of him. He came in as a replacement for KKR back in the day, and RCB doing their due diligence, getting in someone like a Phil Salt, because this is a mega auction, 3 years. You can kind of invest in a player who will kind of give you those returns as well. Considering Phil Salt didn't have the best possible, time with England at the Champions Trophy and everything, just hoping that he goes from strength to strength. And if the new ball does come into play, I think the RCB batters can negate that threat. Shouldn't be as concerning as people are making it out to be.
100%. You guys have a very, very good batting lineup, just like CSK. Both the teams have a very batting depth, and that's good to see in T20 cricket. Also having an advantage of the impact substitution as well. What about the strategy timeout time now? Strategies time. Neha, over to you now. 4 questions will be asked to you. 60 seconds will be provided. Rapid fire question. Your time starts now. Which left-arm spinner, according to you, will pick more wickets tomorrow? Jadeja or Kunal Pandya?
My gut instinct says it's going to be Kunal Pandya because of the way he's been going.
Okay, so you're going for Kunal Pandya. Who will score more runs according to you? Ruturaj Gaikwad or Virat Kohli?
It has to be Virat Kohli, Preetham. Big match, big situations. Virat Kohli, the king, will deliver. Yeah.
Once again, the king delivers. According to you, whoever bats first, what do you think will be the first innings total? I'm giving you a difference of 15 runs.
Perhaps at least they should go for the 175, 180. I think that would seem like a very competitive total. And I think that's something that's still gettable. Yeah.
Okay, so 175 to 190 is what I'm considering at the moment. Who will be your player of the match for the game?
That's a tough one. Again, very inclined to say Virat Kohli because the kind of chase master he is, and batting first shouldn't really be that much of a challenge for him. And this is versus CSK, right? Just have a look at his numbers, and you will be like, he
Correct.
is here to deliver. So yeah, I'm placing my bet on Virat again there.
Once again, the king, he's placing his bet. Virat Kohli. You have given your 4 answers, rapid fire questions done and dusted. We'll see at the end of the day how many do you get correct. If your predictions are correct, RCB gets 2 points for sure in that one. Let's take a look into the players to watch out for. Here are my picks. Definitely a man of the match player has to be there in the list. Virat Kohli, Krunal Pandya, and Josh Hazelwood are my 3 players to watch out for. Similarly, for a host, I'm going for Ruturaj Gaikwad, Ravindra Jadeja, and Noor Ahmed. Starting with RCB, any other name from your end?
I think that's again a very formidable list, Preetham. No complaints there. I probably would have been very tempted to add a Phil Salt as well, but again, it's just been his first game, and the names that you have mentioned there are proven match winners, right? So no complaints on that front. Hopefully, like RCB collectively comes together as a unit. Even someone like Rajat Patidar, right, would love to see how he goes out.
He's a
Claimed as the
fantastic
spin.
player of spin, and I think
Spin.
those 12 overs of spin, he can just, if he stays there, then RCB might get a big score.
Agreed, absolutely. And RCB will hope for him to come good. Man is leading the side, comes in with additional set of responsibilities, and you would hope doesn't kind of hamper his leadership responsibilities or his batting as well. So I think Rajat Patidar would be another name to watch out for.
Okay, similarly for CSK, I've given my 3 picks. Any other name from your end?
I think even was Rajat Patidar part of your list?
No, Rajat Ravindra was not there.
He definitely has to be a part of my list because he's someone who takes his time to build his innings a little bit. The moment he comes from the party, you will know he will deliver. Right, we've seen him do it time and again for New Zealand as well. And considering he spends a lot of his off-season time in the Super Kings academy as well, he's got very acclimatized to the conditions. So Rachin Ravindra is again another name I'm watching out for. A lot of RCB fans are, I think, hoping for Rachin to come to RCB, in one of those options. That wasn't the case, but seeing him in CSK still, is not bad. But I think he's another player I'd definitely add to that list.
So Rachin Ravindra from CSK, you're going for Rajat Patidar from RCB as well. You've given your 2 picks according to you, alongside my 3 for each side. Let's take a look into the key battles to watch out for. Here are my 3 battles I've gone for. Virat Kohli versus Ravindra Jadeja does not get any old enough. 19 innings, 3 times he has been dismissed by the left arm off spinner. 4 innings between Liam Livingstone and Noor Ahmed. He has been dismissed thrice by the left arm Chinaman. And my third one is Ruturaj Gaikwad versus Josh Hazelwood. Wonderful bowler of the new ball. He might be threatening it in the power play. 2 innings, he has been dismissed once by the Australian. This can be 3 key battles. Which one are you definitely watching?
I think one more to just add on to this list, Preetham, because I completely agree that these are matchups to look forward to. I think Khalil Ahmed versus Virat Kohli as well, right? We've seen the kind of struggle that Virat Kohli has had versus left-arm pacers as well. So that is, I think, another encounter I'm looking forward to. I'm not sure why we haven't spoken about Khalil as yet, man. The kind of start he's had to his CSK career has been brilliant. So I think that matchup is also something I'm interested in. I'm going to see Virat Kohli against his spinners, like Virat versus Jadeja, yes, but even seeing him versus someone like an Ashwin and Noor Ahmed, if he persists, through the course of the innings, would be extremely interesting to see. Yeah.
So if you're in the CSK think tank and if you see Virat Kohli is there at the middle after the power play, who is the first bowler you're thinking to go for? Is it Jadeja or is it Noor or is it Ashwin?
I'm thinking of going with Noor, I think. Although, Jadeja would have been the more obvious choice. Probably, just mix things up with Noor because Virat hasn't played a lot against him. So probably, can get that crucial wicket and breakthrough because, Virat and Salt will give you that amazing power play. So after that, I think to just kind of, cut the run flow and just get the wicket, I think Noor would be my man.
Absolutely. Noor Ahmed is definitely there. Khalil Ahmed, you spoke about. He got the wicket of Rohit Sharma in the first over of the match as well. Nobody can forget that he was wonderful in the first game for the Chennai Super Kings. Battles have been given. What about the predicted playing 11? Let's take a look into that. Why change something that is not broken for the Chennai Super Kings? I think this is a good enough 11. If you're batting first, you can have Rahul Tripathi out there. You can have an impact sub bowler out there. This is a good 11. Any changes for you?
No, Preetham, none at all. I think CSK would be very convinced, with the kind of winning team that they put up in that first game and wouldn't want to change it against RCB as well. Just interested to see who would be their impact player, depending on the situation, who can they possibly bring in. But I think all in all, the playing 11 does look very formidable. Was it that bit surprised to see Rahul Tripathi open, because
true,
like, oh, Ruturaj is coming.
Even that was surprising to me.
Yeah, so that is something which will remain to see if CSK wants to persist with that experiment because we've seen Rahul Tripathi such a busy cricketer, wants to get you those runs and all of that. And if you can just throw off RCB a little bit, would the Ruturaj threat come in later and do his job is something I'd love to see.
Absolutely. CSK want that blistering start just like RCB have. And if Rahul Tripathi can make use of the power play, then Ruturaj can play his anchoring role in the middle overs. That's what they want. What about the RCB playing 11? Let's take a look at that. I think Bhuvi should be back into the side if he is fit about. But I was tempted to keep Rasik Salam into the side. Unfortunately, Bhuvi is there. Somebody has to make way. Rasik Salam as my impact sub is a no-brainer according to me. Similarly, Padikal, was used as the impact sub for batting. That's something interesting. But man with the golden arm is always into the option in terms of impact sub. Swapnil Singh is there in one of my list. He can be a fantastic option. He was there last season around. Your thoughts on the playing 11, please?
Again, Preetham, on paper, this looks like an amazing playing 11. Again, in the first match, I didn't think David Padikkal would be used in as that sort of an impact player, because a lot of us have read into this discourse that Padikkal's numbers at number 3, haven't been that great. Beat for Rajasthan, beat for LSG. So here at RCB, you already have your set opening combo. They wanted to use someone like a Padikkal, say, the wickets fallen early. But that, again, wasn't really a fruitful exercise. I'm glad, like he's not a part of this playing 11. But having someone like a movie is, again, a no-brainer. You need a bowler like him. Although a lot of people may feel, he's past his prime, I really don't think so. Man has never left the occasion. And bowling in tandem with someone like a Josh Hazelwood is going to be a sight to behold.
100%.
And yeah. Okay,
so if you have Bhuvi and Hazelwood both bowling in tandem inside the power play, who would you be tempted to bowl 3 overs in the power play, considering that the other has to bowl in the death? Is it going to be Bhuvi at the death and Hazelwood 3 overs inside the power play?
I think, yeah, I'd probably be a little tempted to use Bhuvi for the latter part of the game as well. But we're also forgetting Yash Dayal, Preetham. I think he's someone, who can give you those overs at the start and, come in later as well. But the temptation to, kind of use Bhuvi in the initial spell, with the new ball, he's unplayable. I think we've seen enough reels and edits of him, with his in-swinger just, cleaning up batters, right? So that's going to be definitely an interesting one. Probably to save a couple or two for, the death overs as well. But I think RCB seems well stocked in the power play side of things and in the final overs as well.
100%. Watch out for the bouncer from Kunal Pandya as well, in case that comes out in the equation. What about the playing 11 is done and dusted? Time for putting Neha into the hot seat. Predictions time now, Neha. Over to you. Match number 8, huge game, CSK versus RCB. It's going to be over to you now, Neha. Being a neutral fan, your percentage for this game, please.
Honestly, I cannot be a neutral fan when RCB is playing, Preetham, but I will try to be as objective as possible. I'd probably still say a 60-40 to CSK. I feel CSK has that sort of an advantage. It is their home conditions. This is the Chepauk. And I wouldn't want to, jump the gun and be an overconfident RCB fan and feel like, yeah, RCB is going to win it. So it's still 60-40. I think CSK has the advantage. And if RCB really pulls off a win, I think it's going to be that underdog win that we will savor a lot more. So just, kind of...
Just like you did at the Eden Gardens is what you're expecting. If you can pull it off once again at Chepauk. 60-40, that's interesting numbers. That's too honest, to be honest, in front, according to me. 60-40 for the men in yellow at their own den, says Neha. That's all we have for you. Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire and also the Never on the Back Foot as well. Sit back and enjoy this cracking contest. Till then, thank you so much and bye-bye.